What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Raj and his shiny bald dome talking about traveling in Mexico. So this video is for you if you are a digital nomad and you are considering making Mexico City your next home. My girlfriend Vicky and I have been traveling here for the best part of a month. We're evaluating multiple cities around Mexico, but this one's about Mexico City specifically, and 10 unexpected things that kind of suck and might inform your decision on whether you want to stay here or not. So the number one thing is pollution. Dude, the PMI levels here are out of control. We walked up a hill, we saw an entire cloud, just like a layer of the sky that was just smog. And look, if you're at a point in life where health and respiratory quality matters to you, maybe Mexico City is one you want to miss. Look, it's understandable with a city that's the largest in North America in terms of population, fifth largest population in the world. You know, it's 22 million people. It's more than double New York. So it's kind of table stakes. You're going to get pollution with all these cars. Number two, sketchy neighborhoods. Look, we had a bit of a road rage incident with a guy who may or may not have been connected, I'm not sure. But the presence of corruption and the cartel is always a troubling thought here. Mexico City on the whole tends to be fairly safe, but from neighborhood to neighborhood, we're staying in Centro, there's a distinct line that once you cross it, you could be running into a lot more homeless people, potentially thieves, muggers. And as I told you, we had this road rage incident. This guy followed us for a couple of streets in his car. And it was very worrying, especially when I was here with my girlfriend. I couldn't protect her. I don't know if he has a weapon. And we've heard some stories too, so just factor that in. You know, if safety is a number one priority for you, maybe give it a miss. Number two, Google Maps is totally unreliable. It doesn't seem to be able to get that arrow direction thing going. We've tried calibrating our phones. I don't know why that would be a problem in one of the largest cities in the world, but it is. Also, the state of information on like restaurants and stores and things, landmarks, isn't always accurate. It's very typical for me to show up and, you know, it's just not there. And even locals will say, it's right there, and I can't find it. I don't know what that's about. Maybe it's some sort of joke against the tourists, but who knows. One thing, and look, this is going to sound really precious, and I'm just giving you information because you're probably an American or a Brit or an Australian, someone who's looking to move somewhere for a better style of living, right? Restaurants don't always have things that they say that they do on the menu. This is number 4. It's a minor irritation, but it's like, you know, you go to a coffee shop 4 days in a row and they have cold brew on the menu and they don't have it. You got to wonder, like, what's going on here? So just kind of recalibrate your expectations. You're not going to get the same level of service or convenience or just everything working like you think it's going to in the States. And if you're one of those particular people, then maybe Mexico City is not for you. By the way, I'm not trying to dissuade anyone from coming here. You have to understand. I have another video called 10 Unexpectedly Awesome Things about Mexico City. And on balance, I think this is a great place, but you just have to be mindful of some of the negatives. So that's what I'm trying to highlight for you guys. Sidewalk construction. Didn't think that would be a thing. It's probably a good economic indicator of progress, but you'll be walking somewhere and there's only one route to get there. And an entire sidewalk has just been like excavated and there's nowhere for you to walk except in the road. Super dangerous. If you've ever been here, you know how many cars, how much traffic there is, especially at peak times. Can get very dangerous. And again, the pollution, you're just breathing in smog from this traffic jam because you're walking in the street because the sidewalks are under construction. So look, minor stuff, but just be mindful of it. Traffic and intersections, kind of a similar thing, but they have these sort of angular sort of walkways when you're crossing a busy street or intersection. So you're automatically with a blind spot, right? Like instead of just crossing straight, you're crossing left. So you're having to go like this to see if you're like about to get hit by one of the cars that just isn't observing the traffic signs. I lived in New York and I'm scared every time I walk across the street in Mexico City. So just bear that in mind if that's a barometer for you. The noise and the crowdedness. I told you, 22 million people. I've been in major cities before. There's a feeling of population density here that I've not seen anywhere else. It's pretty untenable. And if you're someone who needs space and quiet and relaxation, definitely don't consider Mexico City. It's a very urban environment. And then finally, well, not finally, number 8 I think we're on. So number 8. Distances and urban sprawl. Most things are about a 50-minute walk for us. You know, you want to get from Centro to Roma Norte or to Polanco. This isn't like a quick walk or a very short bike ride. Like, this is a massive city in terms of land mass in addition to population, which makes it even more impressive that there's such population density, because it's vast. You know, getting from one neighbor to the other can take you 30 minutes in a car, but on a map it looks like it's right next to you. You know, that's it's amazing to me. The lack of English. Again, you're moving to a different country. You shouldn't be so arrogant to assume that people are going to speak English automatically, but that's the reality of it. I mean, Mexico City specifically doesn't speak a lot of English. You're going to need some basic Spanish to get by. I'm pretty proud of myself. I did Pimsleur. You know, I've been doing the monthly subscription. I'm trying to teach myself the best I can, and I can order in restaurants, but like when I get responses, you know, they don't speak English. They don't want to speak English. So do yourself a favor and learn some basic Spanish, or if that's not you, you just want to speak English the whole time, maybe reconsider Mexico City. Finally, and this one is a little bit troubling to talk about, and this is basically just like any big city. But again, I'm approaching this from the standpoint of when I first came to Mexico City, I had no idea what I was in store for. And I think a lot of my friends are the same way. So if you're the same and you don't know much about Mexico City, it might surprise you to see that there's so many disabled or child panhandlers sort of plucking at your heartstrings. And you know, I've been to India a million times, and I've experienced this sort of thing. Vicky, my girlfriend, has lived in Charlotte, North Carolina most of her life, so this is a bit shocking to her. And I think it might be a bit shocking to some of the viewers. You know, you can't help but feel this human pang of guilt and empathize with the suffering around you. And you know, our instinct from the West is to sort of give money, buy what they're selling, whatever, but it becomes exhausting after a while, and it takes a mental toll, and it's quite distressing to see all the time. You know, when you're sitting at a restaurant outside or something, and you know, the reality is you can't give money to everyone. So it's just another thing to be mindful of. I know that it's applicable to all major cities, but you know, specifically in Mexico City, I've seen a lot of it. Finally, this is not a reason to not move here. This is just 10 reasons that Vicky and I have identified where you may want to take pause for thought if you're going to book a 6-month Airbnb here and try and make a go of it. There are other places in Mexico. That's where we're going to explore next. Thanks for watching.